Well, here we are, folks. We are live with the 29-minute Hangout again, and I, failed to have my my sign up front here, for, promoting the 29-minute Hangout. But welcome to the 29-minute Hangout. Tonight we have a real special evening. This is going to be super fun. We got a very special guest with us tonight, but we want to thank you for joining us. This is just for those people that end up watching this on the replay. If you're not watching it live right now, you can get invited to the 29-minute Hangout on a weekly basis by just going to our page on Google+, the Elite Marketing Chefs. Just search for Elite Marketing Chefs and like our page, and you'll end up getting to the you'll get invited to the 29-minute Hangout. So I'm here with my partner in crime, fellow chef, Chef Katrina. And Chef Katrina, I'm going to let you introduce our special guest tonight.
Oh, I got the privilege of introducing our special guest. All right, well, we got Gary on already, so we're rocking and rolling. So, Gary, apparently it's raining in Texas. I hear it's snowing up where our special guest is, if I'm not mistaken. So,
no, it was warm and sunny today, but yeah. It's warmer here than it is in Texas.
Probably. So, I met Matt back in June at No Excuses 5. He was a speaker on stage teaching his traffic strategy, which blew my mind because I'd never been introduced to it at that time. It was a whole new world, whole new concept to me. And I have been just so impressed with what Matt has done. He has partnered up with Ferny Ceballos, who we had on last week, and then we had Dan Hockman on there before. So he's in a lineup of really elite marketers out there. And I honestly can't wait to pick his brain and to find out what he knows. And we have 29 minutes to do some of the most scariest Q&A ever possible. But first off, I want Matt to kind of introduce himself a little, get a little backstory so they know what kind of questions they can ask you and kind of where you want to go with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been doing this now. We're coming up probably in about 18 months, maybe a little more than 18 months. It's getting closer to 2 years now. But I've always kind of had a taste for like that entrepreneurial spirit. And years ago, was always reading blogs on the internet like John Chow and Shoe Money, and I didn't take a whole lot of action. I remember once in a while I'd get an idea to start a blog, or I'd get an idea to start a website. I'd work on it for about a week, and then I'd just go move on to something else. So that went on for a few years until I got serious. It was 2013, I remember it, and I just decided I was at work, and it was just so many days that I had been having that were crappy, and I decided this can't be all there is to life, So I literally went on the internet. I started looking at marketing conferences because I knew if I wanted to learn how to do this eventually, I had to go and I had to start meeting people. So No Excuses was the one I found. I think I found it on the Warrior Forum. So immediately I bought a ticket, booked my flight to No Excuses. And this was No Excuses 4, so that was 2013. Went there, and I remember it was Tim Airways was up pitching they were doing, at the time it was like a 6-figure workshop. It was like a $3,500, $4,000 workshop at the time. Of course, they charge a lot more now, but it was like a no-brainer for me. It's like, God, I want to learn this. Signed up for right there. From there, I spent probably 6 months, 8 months maybe, just working really hard at mastering PPV traffic. And that's when Ray, back when Ray and Ferny were together in business, they noticed that work I'd been putting in, and they gave me a chance to run some traffic for them, and had some success with that. So they gave me some more traffic to run. Pretty soon I was doing both PPV and Facebook traffic for them, and they had me speak on their Gold Nugget panel at NES5, which is where I met you, Katrina. And then after NES5 this past fall, I got a really good opportunity when Ray and Ferny decided to part ways in their business. That kind of left a void with the main traffic guy who Ray previously was, so I filled that void, and working with Ferny now. No Excuses, running all the traffic for him again, doing some stuff for EMP. I'm teaching traffic at all the EMP workshops, which is now the acceleration workshops that they host every few months. And I got an awesome opportunity to partner with EMP to create Lead Thief 2.0, my PPV course, which was pretty you don't get a chance to do a joint venture with EMP very often, and I just found out just recently I'm going to be speaking at No Excuses 6, featured speaker, so I'm pretty pumped about that, too.
Yes!
Awesome.
I can't wait for that.
That is terrific. So, yeah, I can hardly wait for that, too. I got my tickets already, and I am raring to go.
Awesome.
So you kind of got into this through No Excuses. Like, you had no prior marketing training at all? Like, there was nothing that you were doing, like no MLM you were part of? You just kind of went to No Excuses?
No, I had never, honestly, I've never been in an MLM. Like I said, I read a blog, some blogs here and there. I think it all started when I saw back in like '08, the big money check where he got like $100 from AdWords, and I was like, oh my God, you can make money on the internet. So I'd look at it every so often. Like I never really did anything with it, and that was like a couple years, and then I just got serious, and I decided if I really want to learn this, I don't want to spend all this money and all this time just joking around. So that's when I actually went out and I got to meet these people. I made it a point. I remember at No Excuses 4, I went up to Ferny the first night at the cocktail reception. I said, hey, excuse me. And, of course, for the way I remember, Ferny was like 6 feet tall and looked down at me and kind of growled. And I tapped him on the shoulder. He was talking to somebody important, and I'm like, I'm going to speak at your event next year. And sure enough, a year later, I was speaking. I was on a panel at No Excuses 5. So, and now I'm actually a business partner with them too.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you said that you kind of started working hard. What does working hard look like?
So a lot of the success I've had comes with both. I think it's part of it's being I don't want to say being in the right place at the right time, but it's getting those kind of opportunities. But it's doing hard work, putting in the hours to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. So, for example, I obviously when I was going through this, I had a job, and so I'd be coming home. I'd be doing my work, and, working 9 to 5, and then I'd come home. Right away, I just start going to master PPV, building campaigns, maybe it's watching marketing videos, or maybe it's working on it's coming home, doing stuff like before going to television. Before going out on a Saturday night, or spending money, going out to the bar, spending money where I could take that money and spend it on something like Facebook ads. Spending 3 hours on watching a EMP What's Working Now webinar with like Kurt, where he's teaching Facebook, or teaching Facebook. I mean, stuff like that, where it's just really devoting yourself to that craft and that extra stuff that, quite frankly, most people really aren't willing to do and be consistent about it.
But let me ask you a question, though, because, I mean, you spent a lot of time, you devoted yourself to learning what to do, but you did more than that. You actually started doing it. You applied it, you took action, and did some stuff in order to get results. So how long did you spend in learning mode before you got into the action mode?
Oh, God. For a time I was kind of mode, and I was just a little bit here and there. After I went to No Excuses and I went to their workshop, I probably spent maybe about 2 months in learning mode, and then started taking massive action. Just coming home, making sure, creating PPV campaigns. Maybe I'd only spend like $5 a day in PPV traffic, but I'd do something, and I always make sure I was trying to further myself and try to. What I always made sure I was doing was taking some sort of action that could result in income. So, for example, spending 3 hours on a webinar, that's great. We all need to learn, and it's very valuable to learn that kind of stuff, but that action is not going to move you any closer to your monetary goal. What I always tried to do was build another PPV campaign, or go out and find more URLs that I could put in my PPV campaign. New would generate impressions in my PPV campaigns, which would have the chance to get leads, and those leads would then go through the funnel and make sure.
Hey, Matt?
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of buffering from you. I don't know if you're coming in and out like I'm getting words and it's kind of echoing. I don't know if Doug's having the same problem.
Yeah, it's breaking up quite a bit.
You're breaking up quite a bit. So I was wondering, I don't know if it's on your side or our side. I mean, I haven't heard anything, but it keeps saying that you keep coming through fuzzy and a little wonky sounding. So I didn't know if it was you.
It might be. Do you want me to try to sign back out and sign back in really quick?
If you can, that would be fantastic.
Yep.
If you have any things that you can turn off that you have running right now or something like that.
Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Cool. Well, in the meantime, here we are.
So let's recap really what Matt just said. So he said he spent about 2 months, from what I gather, learning the system. So for him, it was all about learning the process. And then he spent every day trying something to move his business forward. So he was always taking action, learning something, applying that knowledge, and moving it forward. So that was really important. I think that's one of the big things you want to definitely take away from this, is that Matt didn't just sit on what he learned. It was actually going out and applying what he learned also. Right,
and one of the other key points that I picked up there too was that he said he didn't really get what he needed to do until he actually went and connected with some leaders or a mentor or coach, where they actually he tried doing it all on his own at first, and he would kind of go in fits and spurts or whatever, and just had a little success here and then wouldn't do anything. But it was once he went to No Excuses, which that was the place that he found, but that was where he connected with Ferny and then connected with the folks there and actually got kind of that coaching that helped him apply what it was that he had learned to be able to take action that got results. And so I'm hoping that that's accurate, but I think that's a key point. That's something that we found in the 60-day challenge too, was that people can learn stuff and they can try to apply it, but it's not until a lot of times it just takes one simple little tweak. But when you bring on a coach or bring on a mentor, somebody that can point you in the right direction, that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. Hey, Matt.
Hey guys, is this any better?
It's too early to tell. So yeah, let's blast forward and give it a shot.
Yeah. If push comes to shove, the one thing you can do, Matt, is you can turn off the video and go strictly audio.
All right. Yeah, I've got every app and everything closed out right now.
Yeah, you're still breaking up a little bit, so your best bet is to drop out from.
Yeah. Better.
Yeah, go no camera, and let's just do straight audio with you.
All right, sounds good.
See if that works.
Okay.
So we were kind of summarizing a little bit about what you said about getting, having a mentor, finding somebody that you could connect with that could show you the ropes more so in building your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the important things that I kind of realized early on is you can have a mentor that can show you the right way to do things and how they've actually done things, or you can spend a lot of time and money trying to test things and do it yourself. And unless you've got a really strong entrepreneurial personality to just keep on going after failure, it's likely that a mentor could really come in handy, and it's going to be somebody you can learn from and shortcut through a lot of those mistakes that you're probably going to make while you're trying to learn the ropes.
Right, and having that mentor, having that person to gather you is such a big piece. Now, you say you've done PPV, and I know you're running PPV traffic for No Excuses and for Elite Marketing Pro. What is PPV exactly for those that have never heard of it or don't even really play with it much?
Yeah, PPV stands for pay-per-view. So they're essentially pop-ups, legal pop-ups, and what it is when somebody goes and say they want to play a game online, they want to watch a movie online or something, there's companies that offer these free services, or maybe it's antivirus software like McAfee, could be tax software like TurboTax. People get to use this stuff for free, but in exchange they get they give permission to see an occasional ad once, twice a day. Well, that's exactly what PPV is. We are able to take those ads, those occasional pop-ups or pop-overs where it might not pop up in front of your browser, it might pop over in a tab to the side of it. We can take that and we can put our advertisements on those things. So it allows us to target websites that are very related. So let's say, for example, if we were had an internet marketing message and we wanted to get some internet marketing leads, we could take our capture page, our pop-up capture page, and target a website like the Warrior Forum. So when somebody who had given permission to get this advertising decides to, goes and visits the Warrior Forum, our ad will pop up very targeted. I mean, you can even go so far as to make your site look like the Warrior Forum, so it looks like you're actually advertising on that particular website they're visiting. It really target stuff.
Okay. So yeah, that makes total sense. So in essence, if you do this the right way, you can really define who it is that you're looking to target. You can create a pop-up that looks like it belongs to the site that they're actually going to, and it feels like it's part of that site, and they have a high likelihood of actually clicking on your ad.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite methods because compared to some of the other, one of the reasons I really like it too is there aren't a whole lot of restrictions to it. So a lot of the problems that direct response marketers like ourselves are having with Facebook advertising right now is the fact that Facebook doesn't like direct response marketing. They're banning Facebook accounts left and right for anybody that uses any sort of stuff that says click here or anything involving any sort of internet marketing or MLM. They don't like that wording one bit, so people are losing their accounts. With PPV, I mean, we don't have those restrictions. There's a few here and there, like illegal stuff. Obviously, you can't. I think there's restrictions. For the most part, it's pretty wide open. So a lot of people in our industry could do so.
Matt, you're still dropping in and out pretty badly here. So what I'm saying is that you basically, if you're using PPV, it allows you a lot more flexibility. You don't have the restrictions. You can get that direct response marketing that right now Facebook is pretty much kicking you in the butt for. Can you do PPV on a shoestring budget? Is it possible, or do you have to have money invested in order to pull it off?
Wow, I wonder if we lost them altogether. Hopefully not. So Matt, if you can hear us, you might want to sign off and sign back on again, because it appears that we've lost your feed. But that's a great question, and that's one that I definitely would love to hear about. I know that when you're doing PPV, there is kind of an entry-level cost to get started, but then once you do, then it's just incremental as far as being able to add to your budget. But boy, the flexibility and the freedom to to create the opt-in pages or whatever, the pages that you want people to see that are going to show up in front of other people's URLs is tremendous. And the other sites, Facebook and Facebook has really taken kind of a hard stance as far as advertisers these days. So it's much more technical. If you want to do paid advertising on Facebook, it's becoming much more technical.
Yeah, I think what I liked about PPV, and I think for if you guys are network marketers and you're on here and you're learning, you're trying to figure out how do I use this for building my business. One thing that I thought was really cool that Matt talked about in the Golden Nugget panel for No Excuses 5 was the ability to even put these capture pages on membership forms. So like if you're in a network marketing company, where you have to log into your main website to go to your distributor back office, you can even put pay-per-view back there and get that specific on who you're targeting with your URL. So you're talking really specific URL targeting When you target a URL, that's a lot of traffic, a lot of eyeballs, so it's very different than Facebook PPV. Hey, Matt, welcome back.
Hey, about that. I just reset my internet connection, so I'm hoping this helps.
Okay, you're still breaking up a little bit, but we're hearing you now. We weren't hearing you at all there for a little bit. So, but yeah, and you know, it's whether you're a network marketer or not. I mean, any business you could use it. You could actually go and put your ad right in front of your competitor's URL. If somebody was, you know, you could target your highest competition. You could pick the URL for their website and actually have your ad show up in front of that. Is that correct, Matt? I know I've done this a little bit, but not to the extent that you have. But basically, you can kidnap your competition's websites and get an ad right in front of them.
Yeah, that's part of the reason we call the course Lead Thief, because you can literally steal your competition's leads. You can steal their visitors from their website and make them your own if you're crafty enough about it.
Awesome.
Right.
So the question I had for you, Matt, before I lost you, is Bernadette actually had a question. Is like, how would you be able to do PPV on a shoestring budget? I mean, maybe you don't have a lot. Do you need to have a big budget? Do you need to have money in order to do PPV? Like, what can we do with that?
Yeah, so I would find you can actually do PPV on a shoestring budget. You can spend, and I believe the networks allow you to spend as low as $5 a day on advertising, and well, I'm sorry, you can set up a minimum of a campaign as $5 a day. Spend as little as 2 or 3 cents per day if you want to get very targeted. We teach a number of different methods in our Lead Thief course. However, I would say if you're on a shoestring budget, start with maybe a handful of websites and just start testing them out and seeing, you know, say if you're a network marketer, you want to get some more leads for your network marketing business, go to a couple places where you know network marketers are and just start testing those out, and you probably won't spend more than $1 a day. But just test a little bit to see how it works. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money to make this stuff work.
Gotcha. Now,
there is an upfront though. There is an upfront minimum to get started, right? But then that can last for a long time for somebody that's on a shoestring.
Correct. So right now the lowest minimum is with this network called Media Traffic, and that's $200. But there's no minimum spend per day, so that could last you as long as I don't know, 10, 20 weeks.
Right. And is there an advantage to using targeted URLs or you know, a little number of URLs versus, you know, a massive campaign of some sort or whatever?
There's an advantage in that you can control your spending more. The disadvantage is obviously if you've got a lot of URLs, you're going to get a lot of data much faster. However, if you're on a budget and if you're first starting out, I absolutely suggest just using a minimal number of URLs so you can get comfortable. I've had students that spend a lot of money really quickly not knowing what they're doing because they put a lot of URLs into their campaigns.
Okay, great. So
for like a minimum amount of URLs, what would be like 5 or
I'd say 10. You know, get 10 URLs, make sure they're targeted, wait a day, see what happens. If you're not seeing many impressions, put maybe another 5 or 10 more in there.
Okay. So you can start with a very small handful of targeted URLs and go after that.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I was kind of curious about. Awesome. So have you found right now between the testing, do you prefer PPV over Facebook at this time?
Yes, actually I do prefer PPV over Facebook just because I have a lot easier time running ads like for a product like Attraction Marketing Formula, which I found is converting really well on PPV, whereas it's very difficult to run that offer on Facebook. So the freedom I get by doing that is a lot greater, and I think the quality of the leads is the same from what I found.
So the lead quality is better with PPV?
It's roughly last time you visited, you're over a
Hold
lot.
on, Matt. Hold on.
I
Repeat
didn't
that
hear any
again,
of
because you're
that.
breaking up. And this is a really important answer.
They're about the same.
So they're about the same.
I would say, in my opinion, they're about the same.
Okay, so they're about the same in terms of quality of traffic that you're getting from both either Facebook or PPV.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to know. Do we have any questions from anybody in the audience for Matt real quick? Anything that you guys want to know or touch base on with him? We've got just about 2 more minutes before we yank him off of here. There may be a chance we have to pull you back on here again, Matt, and redo this with you.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet. I usually don't have issues like this.
Yeah.
We don't either. That's why we find this to be very weird.
Yeah. It's been fascinating. So I guess I'm not seeing any questions yet. We got a lot of people that are on the Hangout tonight. So you know, if you have questions about doing paid advertising, folks, ask them whether it's related to PPV or not. Just go ahead and shoot it in there. Let's see if we can answer something for you. As Matt explained, you can start doing paid advertising on a really you know, do it on a budget, you know, $1 a day, whatever it is. So, yeah, we're looking for questions. But Matt, when you got started in internet marketing, what would you say was the one thing that really kind of flipped the switch for you and caused you to think that, wow, this can work. This works. I mean, you know, because anybody really can do this. They just need to get to a certain point where it's like, okay, I tried something and it worked. I know for me it was, you know, God, this was years ago. I'm getting my 3-minute warning here, so I'm gonna turn that off.
So let's get Matt to answer the question, because we really are down to the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was actually taking action on something and following through with that. So when I started with PPV, I got to work. It didn't work at first, but I stuck with it more than just a few weeks, and eventually got it to work after about 6 weeks. So it was all about devoting myself to one thing, taking massive action, and sticking with it till I got it to work.
That is the key phrase right there. Sticking with it until you got it to work.
Yep, exactly. Let me ask you this question. When you say massive action, what does that mean to you?
Massive action means devoting a bunch of your free time and making sacrifices in your life, doing things that sacrificing things you normally do. So instead of watching TV for 4 hours a day, and some work on some campaigns, learn a new marketing strategy.
So it's pretty much what it means is taking action every day, as small as
Correct.
that may
Taking
be.
action every day.
Right.
Devoting yourself to becoming a master.
Yep. Yep.
I like that. Devoting yourself to become a master. All right, guys, we have like 30 seconds. Doug, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, so thank you for joining the 20-minute Hangout. Thank you, Matt, for being with us. What an awesome honor it is for us to have you on here. And for those of you that have liked what you've seen tonight, make sure to come back and join us next week on the 20-minute Hangout. Again, you can find us, the Elite Marketing Chefs, on Google+. And just, you know, go ahead, Katrina.
And we're all going to be on Facebook in a few minutes, and we can also find us on iTunes under Elite Marketing Chefs. You can start getting the recordings of all of these wonderful Hangouts that we're doing with these top leaders, picking their brains for their #1 training. So thanks, guys, for joining us here tonight. Matt?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Katrina, I know I heard your little beeper there, so that means time is up. So
time is up.
Thanks, folks. Yeah, have a great week, and we'll see you on the next 20-minute Hangout.